There's something fascinating I've been diving deep into lately. It's about your brain, and here's the thing. The science is absolutely clear on this. You can completely rebuild who you are. Every time, and I mean every single time you learn something new, your brain physically changes its structure. It's actually incredible when you think about it. These changes, right, they happen through what we call neuroplasticity. Actually, think of your brain like this. It's basically like modeling clay that you can reshape any way you want. This reshaping, it's happening every single day of your life. You see, your self-image isn't just some static photo hanging on the wall. No, it's more like, you know what? It's like a video that's constantly recording and updating. And I mean everything. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, the actions you take. They're all hitting that record button on your identity, moment by moment. Most people never learn. It's called unlearning. Think about this for a second. It's kind of like your computer, right? Before you can install new software, sometimes you need to uninstall the old version that's causing problems. Well, your brain, it works exactly the same way. Those old beliefs about who you are, those limitations you've just accepted as truth, they're really just outdated software running in your mental computer. Let's talk about something that affects all of us these days. Your digital identity, your social media personas, they're not really you. They're carefully curated highlight reels that can actually trap you in an artificial version of yourself. So, here's what we need to do. It's time to separate the real you from these digital shadows you've created. So, I want to share a really powerful exercise that's helped so many people start their transformation. And it might sound simple. Write a goodbye letter to your old self. And yes, I mean, actually write it. Not just think about it. Really write it out. Thank that version of you for getting you this far. Acknowledge all those lessons learned, and then you need to let go. Because you know what? You're about to create someone new. Chapter 1, Mindset Engineering. Now that you understand how your brain can be rebuilt and reshaped, let me share something really powerful about engineering your mindset for unprecedented success. Your mind literally creates your reality. And look, this isn't just some positive thinking stuff. We're talking about a scientific fact that's been thoroughly backed by cognitive psychology. When you look at successful people throughout history, and this is something I find absolutely incredible, they didn't just work hard. No, they created what's known as a reality distortion field. Think about Steve Jobs. When engineers came to him saying something was impossible, he didn't just accept it. His mind actually bent to reality until what seemed impossible became possible. Your brain processes about 400 billion bits of information every second. You only become aware of about 2,000 of those bits. And you might be wondering, what decides which 2,000 bits you notice? It's your beliefs. They act like a filter, essentially showing you what you expect to see. So let's talk about upgrading your mental operating system. And this is crucial. We need to work on better thought patterns. You know when something bad happens, and your first instinct is to ask, why me? Well, I want you to try something different. Instead, ask yourself, what can this teach me? Or, how can I use this? This is what we call cognitive reframing. It's basically turning every experience, even the tough ones, into fuel for growth. Your second brain is just as important as your first one. And when I say second brain, I'm talking about your personal knowledge system. You know, the way you capture and connect ideas. I see this all the time. Most people just let valuable insights slip away. But you're going to do something different. You're going to build a system that captures every useful idea, every important lesson, creating this incredible network of knowledge that compounds over time. Small identity shifts create massive changes. And this is key. Don't try to transform everything at once. Just focus on changing one small habit, one belief, one daily action. Think of these micro shifts like compound interest in a bank account. You've become an entirely new person, not through force or struggle, but through the subtle power of consistent small changes. Chapter 2, Time Mastery. Your brain doesn't actually experience time like a clock does. It experiences time through events and emotions. Ever notice how a vacation week just seems to fly by? But man, 1 hour in a boring meeting, It feels like it's never going to end. See, that's because your perception of time is actually flexible. And once you really understand this concept, you can actually learn to stretch and compress time to work for you. Your brain, interestingly enough, can only concentrate deeply for about 90 minutes at a time. After that, and this is crucial, you need 20 minutes of true rest. Think of it like swimming. Fighting this pattern is like swimming against the tide. But when you work with it, that's when you become what I call a productivity powerhouse. Think of it like the seasons. Throughout your day, you have these natural peaks and valleys. Some hours you're sharp as a razor. I mean, you're absolutely on fire, and others, well, you can barely think straight. Most people, you know what they do. They ignore these patterns and then wonder why they struggle. But you're going to do something different. You're going to map your personal energy cycles and match your most important work to your peak hours. Let's talk about deep work. The kind that actually moves your life forward. Your phone buzzes, email notifications pop up, social media starts calling your name. Each interruption, and I've measured this, costs you 23 minutes of focused time. But don't worry, I'm going to share with you how to build what I call an unbreakable focus system. First, create a workspace that eliminates all distractions. Then, set specific deep work hours that are absolutely sacred, and I mean sacred. Finally, train your brain like you'd train a muscle. And there's another version of this, what I call time blocking 2.0. But here's the twist. Don't just schedule tasks, schedule your transformation. Block time for learning. Block time for thinking. Block time for recovery. Because your calendar, it's not just a schedule. It's literally the blueprint for who you're becoming. Every time block is either moving you toward your future self or keeping you stuck in the past. Chapter 3, Physical Optimization. Your body isn't just this thing carrying your brain around. It's actively creating your future success or failure. Movement actually changes your brain chemistry instantly. Think about those times when you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or unfocused. What's really interesting is that your body isn't just reflecting these states, it's actually creating them. You can completely reverse this process. Think about how animals move in nature. You see, a lion doesn't do these repetitive exercises like we do at the gym. It stretches, it pounces, it sprints, it rests. Your body? It actually craves this kind of natural movement. When you start moving the way your body was truly designed to move, something amazing happens. Your energy just skyrockets. Your mind becomes incredibly clear, and your entire nervous system just resets. Now, let's talk about what I consider the most underrated success tool. Sleep. While you're sleeping, your brain is basically doing 3 crucial things. It's processing everything you learned that day, it's repairing your body, and get this, it's literally washing away toxins. Sleep quality actually matters more than sleep quantity. Think about this. 1 hour of deep sleep does more for your brain than 4 hours of shallow sleep. Let me use an analogy that really helps explain this. Your brain is essentially like this incredibly complex biological computer. And just like your laptop needs the right kind of power and maintenance, your brain needs specific fuel to run at its absolute best. Through my research and personal experience, I've found that certain foods literally upgrade your neural hardware. Omega-3 fats actually build better neural connections, antioxidants protect your brain cells, and protein provides these essential building blocks for neurotransmitters. This isn't just nutrition, it's what I call neural enhancement. Did you know your body is replacing billions of cells every single day? It's incredible. You get a completely new skin every month, new bones every 10 years. You're constantly rebuilding yourself at the cellular level. So the real question becomes, are you rebuilding a stronger version or a weaker one? Every meal you eat, every way you move, every minute of sleep you get is literally programming your biological age. Chapter 4. Social Capital. The more I study success patterns, the more I realize something profound. Relationships are truly your most valuable currency in life. And I'm not talking about followers or casual connections. I mean, those real strategic relationships that create opportunities you can't even imagine yet. Think of your network like this living, breathing organism. It's fascinating because every interaction you have either strengthens or weakens it. Every conversation either opens new doors or, unfortunately, closes them. You see, I've noticed that most people just leave their network to chance. But what I want to share with you is how to build it with intention, with strategy, with real purpose. Before anyone decides to work with you, hire you, or invest in you, they look for something specific, evidence of your value. Most people, they just wait around hoping others will recognize their worth, but the real winners, they build their track record on purpose. And you can do it by using, I call it the mentor matrix. First, you identify the exact skills you need to develop. Then you find people who've mastered those skills. Don't just ask for help. Study how they think. Watch carefully how they solve problems. Notice their decision-making patterns. Because you see, good mentors don't just teach you skills. They actually upgrade your entire operating system. Understanding influence is fascinating to me. It's almost like understanding gravity. It's this force that's always working, whether you understand it or not. Think about it. Every word you say, every action you take, every project you complete, they're all sending signals about your value. Let me share one final insight about community that really changed my perspective. When you surround yourself with people who share your values, your goals, your standards of excellence, something magical happens. Your growth accelerates automatically. You see, I've learned that one person can only go so far alone, but a carefully built community, that's how you create what I call exponential impact. Chapter 5, Emotional Intelligence. Your emotions aren't just random feelings. They're actually sophisticated messages from your nervous system about what needs your attention. Think of them like text messages from your body. Understanding these messages, this is what makes all the difference between being controlled by your emotions and being in control of them. Let me walk you through what actually happens in your body when emotions hit. Your heart rate shifts, your muscles either tense up or relax, your breathing changes pattern. Before you even have time to think about how you feel, your body is already responding. When you learn to read these physical signals early, it's like getting a head start. You can actually redirect emotional energy before it takes over. Most people get triggered and react instantly. But here's something profound. Between every trigger and every response, there's this tiny space. And in that space lies your power to choose your response. The key isn't trying to eliminate triggers. Trust me, I tried that. It doesn't work. It's about expanding that space of choice. This is how you transform emotional reactions into what I call intentional responses. It's not just about being nice. It's actually a strategic skill. When you truly understand others' emotional patterns, you can communicate in ways that actually get through. I see this mistake all the time. Most people talk to others the way they want to be talked to. But I'm going to show you how to speak to others in their emotional language. Every time you face a difficult emotion without running away, you get stronger. Every time you stay calm in chaos, your resilience grows. This isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming emotionally skilled. Think of your emotions as allies instead of enemies. Now that you understand how your emotions are actually sophisticated messages from your nervous system, you can start transforming them from potential obstacles into powerful allies on your growth journey. And this is just the beginning. I've uploaded the part 2 of this transformative guide, where we'll dive even deeper into mastering decision-making, accelerating skill acquisition, and integrating everything into one harmonious life system. Click the link in the description to continue your journey immediately. Thank you for being here. Now, let's head over to part 2 and continue unlocking your extraordinary potential. And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Also, let me know your thoughts on what I just shared.